Donald Sutherland.
Same
right?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you say it and I'm going to say yes or no?
No,
okay.
no.
Donald Sutherland, yes.
Yes, Frank?
Right. Definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
That's so far we've covered our leads, and our producers.
Rola Bauer.
Rola Bauer.
I've seen work that she's done before. That was a
Yes.
great plus. And I think the same happened here. I heard you saying that before, but they didn't lock in the characters. When they talked to us,
Yes.
it was when Frank and Rola, we've been on a Skype, and I'm like, okay, what can you tell me about the character? And they gave me these broad strokes, and they were like,
Yeah.
and now we can talk about it. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we can create the characters together. I'm like, wow.
And they really did.
Wait a
Like,
second.
we sat down in a room for
That's
hours.
That's
It was
difficult to
fun.
say no to that.
It was
you
so,
know?
yeah, it was intensely flattering. Now that we have you, we're gonna create something kind of around you, and I was like,
It was actually
really?
completely different, and then,
Yeah.
you know, I gave them some suggestions. I was like, you know, can we do this? They were like, no problem. We'll
Yeah.
send you a draft in a couple of days. Check it out. And I'm like, okay.
I've had
it's
the
pretty
same
cool.
experience. You know, we added complication, added things, added that. They're incredibly collaborative.
His name is Marco Constante. He's an Italian inspector specialized in kidnapping and negotiations. And Dorn, Donald Sutherland's character, who's leading this ICC unit, is inviting him to come to Hague because one of his personal friends who is involved in this big case that he's working on is being kidnapped. And they have a really short amount of time, and he's inviting Constante because he's apparently one of the best in what he does. So that's the introduction, how we see him first. And then of course, during this first episode, we see his team going to be reevaluated. Is it going to become alive again? Is it going to be operational again? And we all bring all these histories with us, all those pasts. They're going to start interacting with each other, and then the story kind of goes.
Yeah, it does. The first two episodes set it up. We meet my character, Carine, and she's an investigator with the ICC. And then at the end of the second episode, which is in the trailer, so it's not so much of a spoiler, she starts to lead the team. So the team is great. It's a bunch of really different people from all over the place coming together and solving these crimes, which is what makes it fun.
We wanted to honor everyone who has loved the show the past 2 years, but we also wanted to bring it new life, new characters. It's sort of more of everything that was great about the show the first 2 years. So we have a new cast headed by Goran Visnjic and Elizabeth Mitchell. We have Donald Sutherland returning. We have Lara Rossi returning, Tom Wlaschiha returning. But I think the scale is enormous. The stories are characterful and emotional and relevant.
One of the things I think, if you have a chance to do a third season and you're fortunate enough to be able to get that production green light, then you want to give your audience, what Frank is saying, something that they're familiar with and that they love, the fans that are coming back. But you also want to attract a new audience, and you want to keep everybody curious about what this story is going to be, and then turn it slightly upside down, maybe not completely because you want to keep the DNA of the show, but with everything that is out there in terms of television today, and there is a huge array of choice. If you're going to a third season because they love the characters, then you need to springboard into something more ambitious and different. And we hope that's what we'll provide that in the third season.
It begins with Goran's character being called to the team, and the team has been disbanded. And so it's sort of, it's reborn with this new cast of characters. And that was very important to us, to start with character, not with nationality, not with job, characters that we like, that are interesting, that we want to see where they're going to go. It certainly has procedural elements, but I wouldn't find that interesting. I like stories that are about something, like there's a reason to watch it. And I feel like it asks interesting questions. It's about the Europe that we really do see around us. And I think people who watch the show will feel like I was really entertained, but I also found out something I didn't know until I saw it.